going to go international. We're going to go big, go all the way to China. Talk about Jianlian, 7 feet tall. A lot of intrigue here and possibilities, Jim.
I think anytime you look across and you look at something like somebody like a Chinese player like this, I think the intrigue is a great word, because you don't know how they're going to really come over to the NBA and play in what I consider really the toughest league in the world in terms of the physicality of it, the big guys up front, because you're always running into 2 or 3 guys on each team that are 6'7", 6'8", or bigger, 230 pounds. Now, he has some size, he has a little bit of strength, he's going to play the power forward position. A lot of question marks around this, but then there was with a guy named Yao Ming also. I also said, big guy like that, how good is he going to be? Well, we take Yao Ming in a second.
Yes, indeed, you're right. Let's get some more on his possibilities and send it over to Matt Lachlan, Seton Hall head coach Bobby Gonzalez, and NBA Assistant Director of Scouting Ryan Blake.
His name is Jianlian. He's 7 foot tall. He weighs 242 pounds. He played for the Guangdong Tigers, and many people think he'll be the next big player, literally and figuratively, to come from China. But there are some questions about his ability. So we'll talk about the pros and the cons, and let's begin with the pros, Ryan. What about Yi? How good is he? What does he do well?
Well, first off, you did a great job with all those pronunciations, a lot better than I would. And I will say Yi. I will not pronounce the rest of his name. Yi, we've followed him for years. I mean, he's a 7-foot small forward or multi-purpose forward. He can score inside and out. He's had a lot of experience with international teams, from the juniors on to the World Championships. Last year in the World Championships, he's averaged like 6 rebounds. 6 points, 5 rebounds. However, there are some questions about his passivity, you know, whether his work ethic, if he's a little bit soft. I mean, he has a lot of skills, okay? He can shoot the ball, he's got good range inside and out. But we don't know what else he has inside his heart. Now, his agent, Dan Fagan, did not bring him to our pre-draft camp where we invited him for physicals. So now there's a little window of inopportunity, because we don't know if he's positioning or posturing him, or if he's hiding something, and a lot of the teams are wary about that.
And that would scare some teams off, understandably, for making him a high draft pick.
Well, that's right, Matt. You know, the jury's out as far as his court awareness. You know, it was an adjustment for Yao Ming, of course, coming to the NBA, but he was a center, natural 5-man, so it's a little easier running from rim to rim, block to block. You know, here's a guy that's kind of a skilled power forward, kind of a face-up 4-man. And we actually had a chance to coach against him when I was with USA Basketball overseas. We played, you know, with the World University teams in Turkey, and I saw him as I think it was about 17, 18 years old at that time or whatever, and we coached against him. And he's impressive because of his skill level, as Ryan said, for a 7-foot guy, you know, who can shoot the ball like that. But again, I think that the concern would be, how does he fit in with what, you know, with your team and your strengths?
Ryan, is there a danger here? People see Yao and they're looking for the next Yao. So here comes the next big young player out of China. And are they drafting as much on potential as ability?
Well, I think he has the ability, but he's not a Yao. I mean, he's not a center. I mean, they're hoping to make him more or less like the next Nowitzki. I mean, he's a small forward, multi-purpose forward. He's not a tweener. He's not a combo. There's a lot of intriguing things about him, but there are questions about his heart and desire. We don't know that, and I think when Dan Fagan eliminated him from physicals, well, we don't even know what he may be hiding or not, and I think that is flirting with disaster a little bit, which is Molly Hatchet's song, you know. Anyway, but it really is, and I don't want to see that, because I like the kid, and I'd like to see him in the NBA. Could he fall low into the first round, or could he go in the second round? And I don't know if there's going to be problems if he does get that low.
Well, and Ryan knows this too, Matt. Maybe what's happening is sometimes you get a commitment from a team that's flown over there and saw him, and maybe they like him and they're already committed to taking a chance on him, and maybe that's why, you know, they're kind of hiding him a little bit. But I think it's an intriguing possibility because of the, you know, what's happened with the international game and the NBA. It's just, you know, Yao Ming has opened up doors for other great Chinese players, and it's a very intriguing guy to see what's going to happen to him.
Ryan, when you say soft, what would teams want to see him do better?
A little bit more assertiveness. I think in international competitions where he wants the ball, where he'll go after players, where he'll bang inside and not afraid to get banged up a little bit when he's in rebounds. Sometimes he does that, but you know, when you want to be a go-to guy, you want to show that mental capability of being a winner, desire, competitiveness.
Well, the question about Jianlian is, will he overcome the questions that right now are floating about him.
All right, gentlemen, thank you again. As we talk about, one thing we definitely know about E is that he is a gym rat. And this draft is all about hard work and getting the hard work to pay off for you.
Yeah, it is, and that's a good sign that he's worked that hard and he loves to play the game, because when you think about the concept of the NBA draft and what these kids are working for, the dedication they've put in, the time and the hours that they've put in to kind of shape themselves for this biggest day of their basketball lives, if you will. And it's an interesting perspective, because I don't, not being from China, you wonder just how much of that thought process goes into the thought process of him versus all the the American-born kids here who have been dreaming it, watching it on TV, and really living it. So it's a different perspective, but it's an exciting time, and hopefully. Little question marks there, though, with our other analysts who's saying, he may go late in the first round and drop, and then maybe in the second. So I'm not so sure you're looking at a high draft choice.
All right, good stuff there. Up next, we're going to discuss the NBA's future of Florida's players, like Al Horford. And we'll get Georgetown in there, too. Jeff Green. All right, NBA TV's Draft Preview Show continues right after this.